My son said S-H-I-T the other day at school. My adorable, bright-eyed, empathetic 4-year-old boy. Technically, he said Sheck. Even his teacher chuckled when she told me, but he thinks Sheck is a curse word, so we kind of have to address it. Before I became a mother, I used to say that I didn't give a sheck about curse words, that I would not censor speech in my household, that I would try and teach my children about respect, that just like people, words by themselves are not good or bad or naughty. Our actions are what's most important, how we treat each other, and that includes how we talk to each other. Of course, I want him to be aware that saying certain things in certain company, like saying curse words at school, might get him into trouble or make some people mad. You can be crass, son, just don't be thoughtless. I realize now that may have been a lofty goal. Now, I grew up in the South, but I'm having a sort of similar experience with ma'am and sir. I'm down with please and thank you, but not so keen on ma'am and sir. We don't do it at home, as long as he's respectful in tone and behavior. I genuinely don't care about being called ma'am. Frankly, I'd prefer not to. But it's expected at school, and he gets corrected if he doesn't do it. So, what the sheck? So I may be changing my tune on those issues. I sort of hate to because I haven't really changed the way I feel, but I just don't want him to get into trouble for something so pointless. So I guess I can let it go. Sometimes I think letting go is a lot of what motherhood is. We let go of those lofty expectations about what kind of parents we will be. We let go of those glorious, perky boobs. We let go of our children's hands as they step out on their own. Sometimes you're ready for it. It's part of the natural progression. It feels good, and it can help you figure out what really matters. But sometimes it's just really, really hard, and nothing can prepare you for it. It's just painful. I never expected that I would outlive my infant daughter, but I did. We found out midway through my second pregnancy that our daughter had a severe birth defect called CDH, which stands for congenital diaphragmatic hernia. In CDH, the diaphragm doesn't fully form, the stomach organs crowd the chest cavity, and lung development is drastically hindered. There's a 50% survival rate, and it's really hard to estimate prognosis until the baby is born. An entire world exists in between the time we got Willa's diagnosis and the day she was born. But for now, I'll need to make a long story short. Suffice it to say that she made her arrival 2 months early, which further complicated things. Most importantly, her ability to breathe outside my body. My daughter spent her only 2 weeks of life in the NICU on heavy support and sedation. Because of her condition and to avoid stressing her system, we didn't get much interaction with her. I only held her for the first time shortly before she took her last breath. Those 2 weeks were a blur of suffering, stress, hope, and despair. I hoped that she would make it. Unfortunately, she did not. She would never taste the milk I pumped for her in the wee hours of the morning, never fall asleep in a pile of family and kitty snuggles, never hear her loving big brother say, "Aw, Sheck," as he gave her a wink, never feel the sun, the wind on her precious cheek. What she did feel, I hope, is unconditional love, which is at the core of motherhood. Although my heart was breaking, I steeled my warm arms and tender voice to let her go in peace. Enjoy yourself. It's later than you think. Enjoy yourself. It's later than you think. I wanted to tell her all the things that daughters want to hear from their mothers, like, why would you change? What you're wearing looks great. Or hey, sweetheart, I really love your nose ring. Instead, I smelled my daughter's sweet breath as she exhaled for the last time, and I told her the most important things any child should ever hear. It's okay. You don't have to do anything more than what you're doing. No matter what, you will be in every beat of my heart. My life is better for having had you in it. I love you exactly the way you are. Now she is Stardust, and my only consolation is that I loved her the best way I could while she was here. Sometimes the greatest act of love is letting go.